Hey, folks, welcome to another edition of What's Going on the Experience here on Fox Sports 1280 and iHeart Media. And I'm Nate Brown Jr., and I'm on the road. Matter of fact, I'm in the Steeler country. We'll talk about that a little later. And I got my man Ryan V down in NYC. What up, Ryan guy?
Well, I'm actually on the road, much like yourself, Nate. I'm actually on the road, much like yourself, Nate, except I'm in Connecticut in some strange city. But I guess there's a lot of stuff to do outside around here. So we're on a little bit of a nature adventure. So big shouts to Thomas
Okay.
for being such good little boys and so quiet as we sit here. Oh, look, see, we got one sneaking around back there. He is, little Thomas, as we're sitting here recording. So hello, Rochester. Hello, world. It's on, man. We got a lot to talk about today.
Hey, first of all, let me start off by saying, Ryan Clark, there's no crying in broadcasting. Ryan Clark, you know you're my dude. You got the best broadcast. You got the best podcast called The Pivot. Stop crying. You're a millionaire. You can handle it. Second of all, Sophie Cunningham, you're right. You're absolutely correct. No transgender playing women's sports. I'm sorry. Yeah, don't do it. And thirdly, Tony Romo, what are you doing? Now you know why I called you Tony Bummo. And by the way, the last thing before we get started, leave Anthony Fauci alone. He's 85 damn years old. Leave the man alone. People,
I agree with
that's what I
almost
gotta say.
everything you said until we got to the end. Because I
I
don't know
know.
about you, man, but I wasn't trying to take that damn vaccine. I did everything I could to fight taking that vaccine.
I know. But leave the 85-year-old guy alone. But speaking of messing with everybody, yo, man, the Yankees and the Mets, I don't know what's going on. Opposite end of the spectrum. Trade deadlines is happening. People are going places, doing different things. So, Ryan, give me the update. First, let's go to the stinky Mets and who are they getting rid of. I know we can go to the Yankees, but let's talk about who the Mets got to get rid of. Is Freddie Peralta out the door? Is
Well,
Weaver out the door? Talk to me, Rod guy, because you got the hit on the baseball.
I would think so. I would think right now, if you're Steve Cohen, or I guess if you're, they're a Stroud general manager who everybody loves over there. I know you guys love your general manager so much from Milwaukee, the man from Milwaukee, as they call him. But I would just have a full on fire sale at this point. I know we mentioned that the Mets are excluding 4 names off of this list, in which they've decreed that everybody's up for this so-called fire sale. But I think that the big 3 names that we might definitely see, or let's say 4 names that we might see get moved at the
Mhm.
deadline, I would say Peralta, who they scratched from a start just the other day. That's
That's
usually
the
an
other day,
indicator that he's
exactly.
getting traded. And you know what?
You're
Although
calling.
he's pitching so terrible for the Mets, but he does have value. We all know what he's capable of doing, but like you say all the time, some people just can't play in New York. Then number 2, I'll say Bo Bichette, who still has great value. I know Philadelphia is already inquiring about him. Then Luke Weaver, former Yankee, who knows, we might just get him back on the Yanks at this rate. And lastly, a guy who I know he's had a horrible year and he hasn't been playing good defense and usually comes off to a slow start and he's been hurt twice already, but he's somebody that still has juice in the tank. And I think he's honestly, like, you talk about a villain arc, you talk about somebody who was once loved and then becomes hated for no reason. That's Francisco Lindor, a guy who's given such legendary Mets moments over the years, nearly led them to the World Series alongside Pete Alonso. And I guess because of a few locker room quarrels, they don't want this guy anymore. Guess he doesn't get along with Soto and other people in there. So those are the big 4 that I'd say would probably get moved by the Mets. But if you're Steve Cohen, I mean, you hired a guy in there to make sure that things are actually moving accordingly. And so far, every move that this guy's made has been an absolute disaster. So, David Stearns is he's on the hot seat to me, at least with this year and this trade deadline more than anybody. What is David Stearns going to do at the deadline? And then in terms of keeping the people that they said they're going to keep at this point, shoot, I'd even trade Juan Soto. There's not one player on that Mets
Okay.
team that I
Okay.
feel should be untouchable. You know I love Juan Soto. So I don't know.
All
You
right.
as a
Here's the
Mets
deal.
fan, what do you think?
Here's the deal, Lucille. Everything is correct except for you're not getting rid of Soto and Lindor. Everybody else is you probably don't even get rid of Bo Bichette. Because let's just face it, man, right? This particular season for the Mets is definitely a wash. It's done. So rather than do what they did before with they dumb behinds and get rid of everybody, and listen, you still got some good cats, young guys. Okay. Get that core guy, get the core people, Lindor, my man Soto. You got Alvarez. So you got some good guys. I mean, you got some decent. You just missed the mark by getting rid of everybody at the same darn time in terms of how you wanted to go and about this thing. So at the end of the day, if I'm the Mets, yes, maybe Freddie Peralta's got to go because we can't use him. We ain't going nowhere. But I will keep Luke Weaver because your dumb behinds messed around and got rid of my man. What's the dude at the Dodgers?
Edwin
What's
Diaz.
the
Edwin
you
Diaz
got
is
rid of
actually he's on
Diaz?
his way back. Yeah.
Right. But you got rid of Diaz, okay? My man Alonso just hit 24 or 25 home runs or something like that for Baltimore. So I'm just saying, I don't want to go back to the past. But at the end of the day, let's take a close assessment of what we got and what we're looking at before we do the fire sale thing with the Mets. And I know from time to time they're a pain in the behind. And I still like the Mets, but they just rubbed me the wrong way this season by not taking care of what they were supposed to. So the season is a wash. That Kodai Senga guy gets on my nerve, but they still pitch him. Like, what's the value of that character, Ryan? So I'm just saying they have to do a retool, but look at what you got. You paid Bo Bichette. I would not get rid of Bo Bichette. I wouldn't do it, especially the Philly. Okay.
I mean, I agree. I wouldn't want to get rid of Bo Bichette either. I guess that's one guy that arguably could be kept. AJ Ewing, you got to keep him. Nolan
Yep.
McLean, you got to keep him. Even, I guess, Carson Benj, I guess he's kind of off of the trade block. They said he wasn't going to be traded. Besides that, Nate, like literally everybody has to go. Every single project that they've had, they've failed. Every single person that they've traded for thinking that he was going to carry or had a ceiling and then didn't meet that ceiling, they've all failed as well. Like Luis Robert Jr., I've been watching him in Chicago thinking he'd break out if he left the White Sox. And sadly, it's the same old story. He's hurt. Marcus Semien, he's just past his prime. Francisco Alvarez, a guy that everybody thought, you mentioned him, was going to be the next great catcher of the Mets. And, maybe it's deeper, man. Maybe it's deeper. Maybe there's something going on behind the scenes. And that's why Mendoza wasn't able to be the great coach that he was supposed to be. I mean, he won Manager of the Year. And then within 2 years, he's out of the building. So I think it's a bigger issue. We always talk about the Yankees, talk smack about the ownership of the Yankees, but maybe Uncle Stevie ain't what he worked up to be. Maybe that's something going on. Maybe the head of the snake is the problem. And I know you see the way he treats the fans alone, Nate. He's talking about how fans should be happy about paying $40 for parking and they should stop complaining. It's like little things like that makes me realize that Stevie Cohen is indeed just some vile billionaire and he's out of touch.
Well, you're absolutely correct for him being out of touch. He's out of touch. And my contention always has been if you own the team, keep your behind on the sidelines. Let the people that you hire to manage and facilitate the outcome, your best outcome. You don't need to be Jerry Jones in every damn thing. Okay. That's what I call it. I call it Jerry Jones. And whenever you just cannot get out of your own way, take the, I think, the advice and look at Robert Kraft. Only time you seen him is when he won a happy ending. You don't see Robert any other time. Okay, Ryan? Robert Kraft ain't trying to get in your goods. He's just trying to get in somebody else's goods. He's just trying to make sure the team is running cool. He ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm over here. Okay. Those owners who stick their noses in every facet of running the organization will not be successful.
I agree.
Will not be successful. So at the end of the day, as much as I'm a Mets fan, they won't be successful as long as this clown, who's the owner, keeps sticking his nose in everything and then hiring the wrong people. Okay, because the Stearns guy obviously is a wrong hire. It's to the point where Carlos Beltran told him, "I don't even want to coach this team. See me when you get another roster." I'm a Carlos Beltran, who was Mr. Met, along with the other Mr. Met. He said, "I don't want to coach this team. I don't want to manage this team. I'll talk to you guys when you get maybe a new owner, a new GM, and a different roster."
It felt like mind games. And you know what? It's very rare that I give a W to Brian Cashman. But boy, did he play Stevie Cohen like a fiddle with that whole Juan Soto situation. And I'm willing to bet you that he knew that he wasn't going to be able to sign Juan Soto because of his ridiculous asking price. And if he did that, it didn't make sense. We just learned this lesson with Giancarlo Stanton. How many times are we going to learn when you sign guys to these big contracts that aren't good in the outfield? They're eventually going to be stuck at DH, and you're going to get a logjam. And so what did my man Brian Cashman do, and what did Hal Steinbrenner do? They essentially played games with the Mets, and they gave up the whole house in order to get this guy. And now if there really is an MLB salary cap incoming after some type of a strike, I think Uncle Stevie might have dropped the soap, if you will. Not a good look.
We're going to take a quick break. So the Yankees will pick up the soap. So when we come back, we'll talk about the Yankees. Because as a matter of fact, I think not Baltimore, but Boston had a 21-6 run in July. That's how nasty they were coming out the gate. The Red Sox are no joke right now. So they're the hottest thing in baseball. We'll be right back. This is what's going on in the experience with my man Ryan V. I'm Nate Brown Jr. And we're looking for Mr. 355 to join us a little later. And we got my man Ray Ray Davison in the building. He just finished taking the bar exams. He'll be here with us a little later to talk about some NFL and with that fake Josh Allen being over Patrick Mahomes. I'm trying to figure that one out. You ain't win no Super Bowl, but you could be ahead of Patrick Mahomes. We'll be right back. And hey, what can I tell you? Oh, and by the way, there's still people who are happy that Mike Tomlin is going and want to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying, I took a poll. That's what I'm saying. I'll be right back. Hey, folks, welcome back to our second segment of What's Going On in the Experience. I'm Nate Brown Jr. here in Fox Sports 1280 and iHeartMedia, and got my man Ryan V. down in NYC, and the fellas in the background being quiet. I love it. I love it when the plan comes together. As a matter of fact, right. October 3rd, I know it's away, but we're doing the Vino Noir wine tasting and food event. It's going to be at the Temple Building. You know, it's going to be a great event. Reach out to me if you guys want some tickets. Go online, you know, find me on Facebook, whatever the things are, you know how we do. But kind of come to that because, matter of fact, Jordan's going to be in town for that event. It's going to be a live stream. It's going to be food. It's going to be theme rooms, and it's going to be wine. Okay, and it might be some other surprise stuff. So check that out, October 3rd, Temple Building and Theater, 150 Liberty Pole Way, Rochester, New York, Vino Noir. And it's on the heels of the HBCU event that same day. So any adults who come in town, just come on out there. If you don't want to hang out with the kids, come hang out with some grown folks, do some grown folks things. Speaking of grown people, the Yankees look like a grown team and the Mets look like a minor league team. Okay. So I'm just.
It depends on what brother. I got to say, I've seen more missteps by the Yankees. I mean, Ali Sanchez's misguided plays and efforts against the White Sox. There were some historically frustrating moments, at least for the 2026 season recently, but it was nice to see them finally win and beat the Cubs. But Nate, that series against Chicago White Sox, man, very frustrating. So I think two of the worst losses this year came one after the other, blowing the games in the end off of just horrible errors. So look, you know, I want to come in here. I got my Aaron Judge shirt on. Boy, do I miss him more than ever. But these Yanks, man, I think that they've got to make some serious moves as well. Cody Bellinger's out.
Let me ask you a quick question. Let me ask you a question, because it seems to me this year in Major League Baseball, a lot of errors. Because I watch baseball. It's like fundamentally you're missing cutoffs. Okay, you're not getting out to the outfield quick enough. You're misjudging the ball. It's a hot play on third. I don't see no Brooks Robinsons out here, man. And I know I'm going way back, but this year it looks like Major League Baseball, and that's why I'm sad that Greg's not here, because maybe he could help me. But it seemed to digress defensively with really people making. I don't know if it's a record amount of errors. Maybe you could go do some research for us, Ryan, because you probably will. But I think this year, more than most, as I watch baseball, I've seen a lot of errors on all over the place. I mean, like I said, missing cutoff man. The pitcher forget to run the first to get the ball. I mean, or second base is not covered. I thought they were playing in the Banana League.
Oh, the Savannah Bananas? Yeah, it feels like it. You know, and I agree. You know what it is? I think it's guys that normally are really great in the field too. Guys like maybe are getting a little bit older. Ryan McMahon, he's not a young man anymore. You know, Manny Machado is always going to be good, but yeah, you're absolutely right. And maybe it's something to do with the fundamental teachings of baseball, because we talk about it all the time. people are just specializing in one thing. You're trying to hit the ball out of the park. You're trying to throw the ball as fast as you can. People that are mastering one effort or one motion or one pitch. It's specialists out there for whatever it is, but that basic baseball fundamentals from base running to hitting the right cutoff guy, like you said, it seems to decline. And I do wish we had Greg here because we didn't play in the big leagues, but us as viewers, it's very, very obvious what you're talking about. And I do have our producers, aka our producer ChatGPT, looking up the analytics of it and seeing if there are more errors this year. But the eye test, absolutely, man. It's been a very yeah. And maybe we're just watching New York baseball because I know we're watching most of these Mets and Yankees games, and that might have something to do with it. But yeah, for sure. Even guys like Pete Crow Armstrong making embarrassing errors in the outfield, and he's the
in the outfield.
best
That's what I'm
player
saying. He's the Gold Glove. He's the Gold Glove defensive player. So my point is, like, I don't know if it's just a phase that we're going through right now, but I don't think, like you said, baseball is taking the fundamentals seriously. I don't see why I can say somebody. That's why I need Greg here. Is like a 5-2 player. I'm looking for like a legit 5-2 player that could just like do everything on the baseball diamond. And I'm not. That's like a rare bird. It's getting rarer and rarer to see those type of players who could just master the whole game of baseball and not look at it like you said. Just get up there, hit a home run, get in the outfield, make an error. Third base, you're not reaching for the ball. As a pitcher, pitchers always, it's like pitching one-on-one. You cover first base. If the first baseman is not there, you automatically cover first base. If the catcher is out in the field, you come back and back up the catcher in case he misses the ball. Those are just, I knew that from playing Little League. Okay.
Yeah.
They drilled it in your head from playing Little League.
Our producer results have come in. So errors are approximately only 4% higher than last season. 2025 was unusually clean. Now, what we're seeing, Nate, is the New York baseball teams just playing sloppy baseball. Between that 6-error game against the Cubs that we both witnessed, the Mets play, and just in general, the Mets are well above the MLB average in errors, and the Yankees are too. So I think it's our little, the world we're living here in New York. We're seeing a lot of bad baseball, I guess, even from guys that you normally are watching play really good baseball. But to come full circle to the trade deadline, it's tough because even some of these guys that are available now, you've got to kind of buy low, and you're not sure if you're even going to be able to. There's a few dream targets for me as a Yankees fan that I like to see, even if they might be head cases. And one of which is going to piss off a lot of Yankees fans, but I was thinking a lot about it, and I read an article about it, and that's Rafael Devers, who maybe the Giants would give up. Imagine having a guy like Devers in the, batting like third or fourth in the lineup. Also Machado, who's right now I believe Manny Machado is only hitting maybe 209. Not doing good at all this year, but he's still Manny Machado.
Time he was batting like 198. I don't know. I'm glad he got 10 points more because last time he's batting like under 200. Like, Matty, come on.
And he's a guy that, historically, just like Rafael Devers, plays well in New York. So if I'm the Yanks, if I can get one of these guys without giving up too many prospects, because they are playing so poorly and they have the terrible backlog contracts, especially Manny Machado. Manny Machado is well overpaid for the next few years. Maybe that's a move that they make, but it's tough because at the same time, the Yanks they might just remain somewhat firm at the deadline because we all hate to admit it, but baseball might be on strike next year. And if the Yanks or the Mets or any of these teams, including the Dodgers, everyone's talking about trading for Tariq Skubal, it might end up being a 1-year rental because everything might be different when we return if there's a salary cap. So it's tough. It's a tough place for David Stearns and for Brian Cashman to be in right now at the deadline. But to kind of once again bring it to the full circle moment, if I'm the Mets, I'm selling pretty much everybody, including David Stearns. And if I'm the Yanks, I'm trying to fight and pick up whatever I can to maybe bring us to a second World Series in 3 years, because it still is possible. The Yanks still have the firepower in the bullpen, maybe make another move for like a Mason Miller. But do you think the Padres are going to give away the best closer in baseball, or arguably the best closer in baseball, for anything less than all your top prospects? So it's tough, man. It's a tough position to roll in. If I had to guess, I think the Yanks are going to do what they always do and trade for a guy that's either hurt or might have been hurt, and it's like another gamble and another risk for
Well,
Cashman. And let's be honest, Nate, it usually doesn't pan out. These moves that he makes,
well, let me.
except I like Jazz Chisholm. That was a move that seemed to have panned out. But even Jazz Chisholm, there's talks right now that there could be a swap in San Diego between Jazz Chisholm and Luis Arai. And does that make the Yankees a more well-rounded ball club to get a guy that hits for average instead of swings for the fences? Maybe. So, it's not like we have somebody big that we can really dangle and get somebody for, and that includes the prospects. Because once again, the Yankees prospects, at least the ones they say are going to pan out, are the ones that don't. And the Cam Schlitlers and
Well,
Ben Rices and unhyped ones are the ones that do. So we'll
I'm
see.
gonna I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it on this one. Remember what's the boy Boehner? What was your guy's name that played with the Yankees? Boehner,
Harrison Bader. That was a
Harrison
good
Bader. You know
acquisition.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what happened to him, right?
He's in Philly.
He had
Or he's in the Giants
he
now. I
has
think he's with the Giants.
he was the Giants. He had phantom fasciitis on his feet, right?
Yeah.
He goes out and gets into an accident on one of his ankles, and now the Giants are not paying him.
Wow.
The Giants
That's a
said, "Oh,
damn
that
shame.
20 mil, that 20 mil. Oh, we stopping some of that." Speaking of stopping that, we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, is Ray Ray there yet?
Ray Ray's in the building.
Is,
The return of Ray Ray
okay,
Davison. Right here
the
on What's Going
return
On.
of Ray Ray Davison. He's gonna let us know what's going on in the NFL camp, and we even talk a little about some NBA because I want to ask you a question, Ryan. Why does the league hate on Russell Westbrook? He ain't on nobody's team, and Russell Westbrook ain't a scrub. And your boy Kawhi Leonard, shame, 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 Steve Ballmer. Shame. We'll be right back. Fox Sports 1280. Looking forward to seeing Ray Ray. Hey, folks, welcome back to What's Going On in the Experience on Fox Sports 1280 in our Heart Media. I got my man Ryan V. He's on the road just like me. And my man Ray Ray Davison just popped in. Fresh off
Good
that
morning. Good
Dawn
morning.
bar exam in Cali. You look so relieved. Former Kansas City Chief linebacker. You look so relieved, my brother. I thought you was
Yeah,
happier that nobody was hitting you.
no, I actually miss hitting because that's why you play defense. You don't want to get hit; you want to do the hitting. Yeah, happy to be back. Appreciate y'all welcoming me back. I'm glad to be done with that bar. So,
Ryan, you had a question for him, Ryan.
I did, Ray Ray, and I asked you off the air, but I guess I probably should have waited till right now. So here it goes. What's more difficult and what's more hard to endure, the mental workout that comes with becoming a lawyer or your standard NFL workout? How's that on you physically versus the lawyer workout mentally? What's tougher?
right, and that's a really good question. I really think that just any mental fatigue when it comes to all the preparation for taking a bar exam, it's definitely tough and it weighs on you because it's like a full-time job, and you think about it. I mean, most people's jobs, like once they're done for the day, they're done. You're kind of dreaming about it, like what's this answer going to be? A physical workout, while still tough, it's once I'm done, I'm done. I can go recover, I can go relax, right? Go crack a beer or whatever. But your brain's always on when you're prepping for that kind of exam.
Brutal. Real brutal. I got
So,
to
so
actually ask, are there any other NFL players, former NFL players that went on to become lawyers? Nate, you must know this.
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There's a quite a few. I would say, give or take about I'll say probably like 15, somewhere around there, 15, 20, just that I'm aware of. I know Alan Page was, I think.
Yes, one of the first from Minnesota Vikings back in the day, and a Supreme Court judge in Minnesota as well.
Wow.
So yeah, there's some NFL folks who have transitioned into the legalese and doing a great job, and some of them have even become, I guess, Ray agents for different pro sports. Like you said, some of them have gone into criminal law and you're going into corporate law. Am I right? Or finance law, right, Ray? Oh, all right, man. At the end of the okay, so hey, he'll be back. We'll try to get him back in the queue. But yeah, Ryan, that was a good question, man, because he said it was the mental toll that it took on him as opposed to the physical aspect of what's happening with football. Because I guess you're right. You can recover physically, but then that mental
Yep.
toll, it takes a toll on you. We can hear you. But we can hear you, though. That's the wild part about it. We can hear him. He can't
You
hear
know how
us.
it is with the StreamYards. Wherever everyone's on the StreamYards, it happens. But yeah, I can only imagine. So I mean, look, the NFL season is looming, and it's right around the corner. And we're originally going to talk a little bit about Josh Allen being put before Patrick Mahomes as the number one quarterback in the NFL, according to a lot of these reports. But we got to wait till hopefully Ray Ray comes back. But I'm going to take this time to selfishly talk about how excited I am right now about this New York Giants reset and how Harbaugh is about to change the whole culture of the New York Giants, the way that hopefully you could say maybe really hasn't needed to be changed since now that Coughlin's gone. There really hasn't been much of a culture established. So
No.
very excited. We've got a guy who's a special teams expert. We've got a guy who is experiencing managing difficult games and building physical teams, which, as we know, that's what the Giants kind of specialized in over the years. And he's got a willingness to adapt his scheme to his personnel, and I think that's really important right now. But most important for the Giants next year is the development of Jackson Dart, and we know what he's able to do with quarterbacks. So I do have a good gut feeling that the New York Giants might actually end up at least with a 500 record, which is a lot better than we're usually able to say. Usually it's just bad football. I can't tell you how much of the hair on my head has fallen out because of the New York Giants. And now that we have somebody in there to run the helm and bring out the best in all the players, I'm just so excited for both what's on the field and off the field for the Giants this year. Except one,
Okay.
you can see Kadabu doing his little flips. He's been ordered not to do any more backflips. Another
I was
great
going to
jet.
tell you. Here's the deal. Here's the deal with the Giants, right? I think Harbaugh have to rein in your boy Scatterboo. Because Scatterboo could really, I mean, he could be a difference maker, but I think he's a little out there. Okay, he's a little out there. And what I mean by that is he's a little wild. He's a wild kind of guy. And I guess you football players are usually like that. Okay, but he got to get tempered, especially coming off that injury. Okay, how much they're going to run him, and how are they going to run him? How are they going to use him? Okay, and you're right. Harbaugh is very good at that. Harbaugh is very good at because the Giants already have good defense. The Giants all throughout, even when they scrubby, their D always shows up. For some reason, just a mainstay with the New York Giants, their defense. Now your man Jackson Dart. Let's not play like a linebacker. Let's play like a quarterback. Let's not play like my man Josh Allen. Everybody, come on now. Just because you're a big, thick white guy, you can't run over the other big, thick black guys. It ain't gonna work like that. I'm just being honest. You could be 6'5", whatever, but it's gonna take a toll on your It's gonna take a toll. So, my man, what I need you to do, Jackson Dart, right, is be Jalen Hurt like. Now you probably say, what? Jalen Hurt doesn't care about the stats. He doesn't care about throwing it, chugging it a million miles down the field. He wants to be he's trying to be accurate within that 15 to 20 yard range, right? If my man can do that, if Jackson, because he got a great arm. I mean, his arm is incredible. But let's get to that 50, 30 yard throw where it's right in the basket, in the window. You know what I'm saying? The throw that you gotta make. The throw that Pat Mahomes make. The throw really that Josh Allen can make too. I mean, all the top quarterbacks can make that throw in the tight window. If he could do that this year, right? Honestly, I would like to see the Giants have a heck of a lot better record than the Cowboys. You know, I don't like the Cowboys. I don't like them. I don't like them. But they predicting the Cowboys to come out of the gate and do something, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, if the Giants with Harbaugh could just adapt some of that attitude, right? And also special teams, you said it, right?
And most important, honestly, Nate, like this is the post Dexter Lawrence era. So now we need young guys to step up because
yes,
it does deeply sadden me that he demanded himself out of New York. I'm a big Dexter Lawrence fan, and it does kind of
he went to Cincinnati.
We just got Harbaugh.
He had to go to Cincinnati.
It's crazy, man. I mean, and now it's up to Abdul Carter. It's up to Darius Alexander. Like, can the Giants replace this guy collectively? That's the real question right now. You need good edge pressure. You need a strong linebacker to be back there at this point. So it is a little scary to think about what's going to happen to the defense. But look, if Abdul Carter comes out and plays like the guy he's supposed to be, he'll fill up some of it a little bit, the holes that are going to be there. But it is besides that, I think that's the big X factor right now is how can we possibly replace the impact of Dexter Lawrence on the Giants defense?
Well, it's going to be an impact, but I think at the end of the day, the thing I like about Jim Harbaugh is he does have insight and he knows those linemen. Because when he was at Baltimore, he was plugging them in. He was plugging them in with the Ravens. He was plugging them in. It wasn't like they was missing the beat when some of those guys went away. But I believe that they're going to do good. Like just do better than Dallas. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to break down the rest of the NFL. Because for me, like I said, how will the Eagles fare this year? Will they fly? All right. What's going on with the other Harbaugh and the Chargers? Right. And how good will the Rams be back again? Because I do like Puka Nacua. Is that his name? Is that his name, Ryan?
I
Puka,
think so.
Puka,
It's yes,
Puka,
yes. Yeah, he's a great receiver. I'm terrible with these guys' names, also, man. Don't ask me, man. I think
Listen,
it's
man.
Puka Nacua, but I don't know.
Puka Nacua. I just like that name because it sounds like you sell a whole lot of cars. We'll be right back. This is what's going on in the experience. Puka Nacua sold me a car. Jaguar, I got it. We'll be right back. Fox Sports 1280. Don't go no place. Ray Ray, we miss you. We got to get you back on. Hey, folks, we're back for our last segment. We got my man Ray Ray. He's back in the cume with us. But Ray Ray, man, before you got off, man, we were talking a little bit about me and Ryan earlier, just about Ryan Clark and the crying thing on the podcast, man, because he got let go by ESPN. I said there's no crying. And first, there's no crying in football. Yeah. Then there's no crying in broadcasting. Ryan.
Right.
But this ain't football, Nate. This is broadcasting. I see a lot of people crying in broadcasting. That's all we do is whine and cry.
You are ex-player like him. He's got a great podcast called The Pivot. Why will you just not pivot and do your thing?
Right. I think he's just built a little rapport at ESPN, got his name out there. Because a lot of people are unfamiliar. Like, he was a really good player, known for, like, hard hitting and really the kind of football player you want on your defense. And I think it just might have been a little emotional. I don't think that it was necessary to cry, but, things happen and you have your own podcast, so you can move on. But I think it's okay for him to feel a little, upset.
What about you, Ryan?
So
I get it. Yeah, no, I mean, look, it's hard, man. It's tough getting fired live on TV.
Right.
It was brutal. It's a brutal way to go down, especially because the reason, look, he was a pretty good analyst. I guess, you can't say too much in this day and age, especially with the culture that's instilled by our amazing president and others that support him. So you kind of have to walk on eggshells now a little bit more. It's like the cancel culture has swung the other way, and man, did I hate cancel culture. But now we're at that opposite side where the pendulum's swinging. We got to watch what you say. If you say something too nice,
Tony Romo.
Canceled.
Tony Romo just got DUI. He's off of CBS. He wasn't the greatest quarterback in the planet at all. Matter of fact, I thought he sucked at Dallas. Yeah. I thought he was a scrub. I thought Tony Romo was a bum.
Oh, nah.
He was great, man. Am I the only one that? And I hated the Cowboys, but Romo was nice,
nowhere
man.
with that guy. Just like I think the Bills ain't going nowhere with. I think Josh Allen will win the Super Bowl if he gets traded. I've been saying that, Ryan, and I've been saying that. For some reason, the Bills are snake bitten. But let me go back to Tony Romo. They took him off the air. So will they put him back on the air, Ryan? Because like I said, it's a little different. Romo, Ryan, a little different. Little different youth thing going on here.
Look, man. Didn't. Of course, man. Of course. Are you kidding me? They put everybody back on air. In fact, if you do something crazy, criminal, or controversial, you're likely to get hired about a year later. I'm pretty sure Naked Gun 3 came out after the Bronco chase. So it doesn't matter if you're talented. If you got something going on, they might support you. The people will support you. I think he'll be back on TV. Tony Romo will just be fine. He needs to hire a personal driver. It was really the embarrassment of the DWI itself. Right. I heard the video was a little controversial. And they get an open container. I'm pretty sure he was just like riding a cowboy.
Ray. Yeah. You've been through this, okay?
He really is the Dallas
As you had maneuvered your career, I know you had the do's and don'ts, man. So what do you what does somebody like Tony Romo, who's been around a long time, should already know about this? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be human, when you're making comments, but that's what we're supposed to do. Dude, you're a former big time quadrillionaire, and they tell you this is why you have private, like Ryan was saying, this is why you have private drivers, just so you can go out, have a good time, be safe.
Yep.
It's kind of like the Henry Ruggs situation, not to make things more, but like when you're out, I mean, he's young, so I mean, again, not excusable, but when you go out, you know that you need to have a designated driver, right? And it doesn't need to be you. If you took a sip, I know everybody, "Oh, I can drive." No, the law, if you take a sip, just go get a driver. It's okay. You have the money, call an Uber, whatever it is, so that no one gets hurt. You don't get a DUI. You don't put anyone else in danger.
See,
So
that's coming from
it's
a
very
lawyer.
simple.
That's your legalese, Tony Romo, and that was
Yeah.
free on our show from Ray Ray. But speaking of free, I'm trying to figure out who votes for like the best quarterbacks and all that. Is that commentated, Ray Ray? Is that players? I mean, it's because if players are voting for
Media.
the best quarterback, I don't know if they're voting for Josh
Yeah.
Allen. Maybe I'm wrong. If they have Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes, right? And
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes won 3 or 4 Super Bowls, Josh Allen ain't win nothing. How are you giving this guy the nod over this guy who's won?
Yeah, I mean, a good question. You know what? I personally believe that what makes Patrick Mahomes great is not that he's just exceptionally more talented than Josh Allen. I think that he has that killer instinct. He desires to win. Like some like they're just complicit, once I've won once or like I've kind of achieved the 200-300 million dollar contract, I'm okay. But
I'm
I
not
got to push
saying
back
that.
on you
I'm
a little
not
bit.
saying
Josh
no, Ray
Allen is
Ray. I'm
nice.
not saying he's not nice.
He's
I'm saying the comparison. He hasn't won
yeah,
anything. I'm one of those guys who like, what have you won? Okay, but that's why I
right.
said,
I don't
for
think it's his
me,
fault.
if he's gonna win,
I don't think it's
I
his
would like
fault.
to see him get traded out of
Yeah.
Buffalo. I don't think he's gonna win in Buffalo. I just don't believe that because it's too much competition in that AFC. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Drake May is
especially
coming,
Drake
Ryan.
May
He's
now.
coming,
Drake
dude.
May is not making it easier for him. Right.
What are you?
Yeah.
He got
How
AJ
nice is
Brown
Drake May,
now.
really, Ray Ray? From what
I
you see, we know he led the Patriots to Super Bowl.
I called him baby Josh Allen, to be quite honest, and I think his ceiling I can say it is just as high, or even potentially higher because he's very calm and collected when he's at the helm, and
He
I
can
mean
make
it was
the
evident last
throws,
year. I
Ryan.
mean he was
He got
throwing
AJ
darts.
Brown this
I think
year. He
Josh
got
Allen is
AJ
obviously
Brown.
bigger.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he can make the
That's
throws.
crazy.
Yeah, and he's deceptively athletic too. Like people in open space, you don't really want to tackle him, just like you wouldn't want to tackle Josh Allen in open space. So, I mean, I think that's a fair
Okay.
comp, like baby Josh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. And his physical tools, how big is Drake May?
he got to be
6'4",
at
right?
least
He's a big
yeah,
boy.
something like that. He's definitely 220. He's the
Okay.
prototypical quarterback for sure.
So
6'4",
Ray Ray,
longer
how
arms,
much time
200
how
pounds.
much
Yeah,
time will the other Harbaugh at the
yeah,
Chargers put up with Justin Herbert? I'm just like, okay, dude, you're big. You've been starting to come on. Now, what's your excuse now, Harvard? What's your excuse, Justin? Because I don't think it's not. You're
yeah,
7th year in the league, 6th year in the league. You fit the
yeah,
prototype quarterback. No more excuses from you,
yeah,
Herbert.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, everyone can't win. Just like everyone, I just think that he's just also in a difficult conference. I mean, I think that he's exceptionally another guy that's talented. I think they can have an established run game with Omarion Hampton, the running back that, the rookie from last year, second year, to be a sophomore. I mean, Harbaugh is always going to have like a good defense, and so they should have a good. And he has different targets this year, but I think it's on him. He has to take the next step in his game to command the whole team to win. Otherwise, it's going to be the kind of the same 9 and however many games, 9-6 or whatever the record's going to be.
Okay, let me switch
Average,
right quick
I
to
bet.
the team that hopefully you'll be covering, the Rams.
Yeah,
Okay, and Ryan and our favorite
yeah,
receiver, Puka Nakua. That's our favorite receiver. Okay, so what's up with the Rams?
yeah. I mean, yeah. Go ahead. I mean, them getting Myles Garrett, I let my jaw dropped. Them getting, potentially the best defensive player in the league. I mean,
Insane.
Myles Garrett is a behemoth.
Okay.
He's literally the Leviathan. He is, quarterbacks fear him. You know what I mean? And not just him. They got a lot of good receivers out of the draft. And plus they picked up the
Mm-hmm.
nickel from St. John Bosco from Kansas City. He's a phenomenal corner. And so, the Rams are gearing up kind of like what they did when they traded my boy Jared Goff. They're trying to gear up to win another Super Bowl. I mean, this is likely Matt Stafford's last year. I mean, everyone's kind of reading the writings on the wall, and so they're all in. That's what they're trying to do, and so we'll see.
I was going to ask you that.
We'll
What
see
about
Aaron
Aaron
Donald
Donald trying to make a
comeback.
comeback? If anybody could do it, I think he could do it.
Yeah, I mean, again, when you stay in shape, when you're just such a cerebral player like Aaron Donald, everyone often talks about his physical ability, but if you watch what he does, it's his the study of the game, knowing what linemen's tendencies are. Those are really the different details that actually kind of make you a better player. Some guys are just physically gifted and they can just throw you out the way. That happens, but as you get older, you want to be able to make those little changes. And I mean, he's about 36. He's still young. I mean, I know everybody, I'm in my 30s, I'm old. I mean, he's still young enough to play. So if he comes back, I think that'll be a very interesting team, an exciting team to watch.
How difficult is that though? After, coming out of retirement, it doesn't matter who you are,
right?
Taking off for a year. I mean, is that like a normal? It's not a normal thing. I mean, do you think?
Yeah.
Is it possible to come back as the same guy after taking a whole year off?
I would naturally.
It's not like he was in jail. Like Mike Vick was just
right. I would have to say no. Just because nothing prepares you for football except for playing football. Like no matter what kind of workouts you're doing, that's why guys aren't just you can't really peak at the first game. It's not like, oh, I did all this training, I'm like ready to go. I'm Super Bowl ready now. No, you have to go through those hits and you have to go through all the practices throughout each week and then those minor improvements. That's how you get better. But I mean, again, it's Aaron Donald, one of the greatest ever. So I mean, naturally, he's going to be better than average, but I don't think he's going to just come back needing to get triple teamed.
So he's not going to be in the Madden 99 club.
No,
like he's been before. Which, by the way, there's two. To all the people, I guess, our age, Ray Ray and under, that are familiar with what I'm talking about. We only got 6 guys in the 99 club. 2 of them are on the Rams, and somehow Matt Stafford's one of them. I know Matt Stafford had an MVP season.
I know. I was like, I don't know if I didn't really care for that either with Madden. I'm like, I get it, but I don't know about that one. No Super Bowl, but he had an exceptional year MVP.
Hey, here's the deal, fellas.
He could have gotten a 95.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. We got to balance, but check this out. When you come back next week, you're going to break down the NFC for us because we got to really break that down because I said earlier, all the quarterbacks they get looking at an MVP are all out of the AFC, which is incredible to me. I mean, it's like they don't give the NFC no respect quarterback wise, like none. So right, look at Ryan's face, like none.
Yeah,
that's all right. My boy Jackson, he'll be in that 99
but
club.
But it's just top heavy
little bias here.
With the AFC and their quarterbacks. Hey, we're gonna get out of here. Ray, thanks for coming back. I know you're gonna pass that. I know you're gonna pass that darn bar exam.
Absolutely.
That's a wrap, bro. You're gonna do that for us. You're gonna pass that bad boy. And I want to thank you for coming back. And I know you're gonna be covering the Rams for us this year, Ryan. I'm excited about that. He's gonna be down on the field talking to some of his old guys, and that's gonna be a real neat look for what's going on in the experience. And I want to say, Phil, I'm talking to you. I need my Buffalo Bill one-day credential. Don't snow me, Phil. You know I love you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to SoFi, damn it.
Hey,
we'll
man,
meet you there.
Next week, Ray, thanks for coming on again. Ryan, I know Greg is probably playing golf some darn place. And tell the fellas he was on a plane, right? And tell the fellas the background. Tell the fellas thank you for being quiet.
He's midair right now. Yeah. Shouts out to my sons. There he is. There's little Thomas over there. Man, what good little boys. Oh, we got Ray. There they come. And we got little Theodore over there too. Theodore's been jumping around.
No more Yankee talk. No more Yankee talk.
We got 2 words for you, boys. No more. All right, 2 words. Go Yankees on 3 to end the show, boys. 1, 2, 3.
Go Yankees!
All right, here we go.
Peace.
There we go.
Later.
All right.
You
Have a
guys,
good week, everybody.
yeah,
Later.
have a good one.